got the link, streaming link.
Namaskaram. Good to see you both.
Namaskaram andi. Our pleasure.
Jagdish garu, namaskaram.
Namaskaram andi.
మిమ్మల్ని ఎప్పుడు పర్సనల్ గా కలవలేదు.
మీరు ఒకసారి వచ్చినప్పుడు నేను ఉండేవాడిని అంత పక్కనే. ఆ రోజు ఒకసారి కలిసాం. బ్రీఫ్.
Yeah, very brief maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So I have posted the link in this chat.
I already posted in RBS plava probably. Okay, thanks for posting in bhakti sAmrAjyam as well. Shared it in my status. Probably we can share it on Twitter. Maybe in some time when I get a small break. Okay, maybe we can begin, I suppose.
Yeah, as the chief guest is just asking me, so he will join very soon.
Yeah,
we can start, sir.
Yeah,
it's a Veda Shirvachanam. I think Srividya probably she got dropped off. Maybe you can check meanwhile.
Yeah. I think Sheshagiri garu is checking.
Yeah, I think she got dropped off. She was here.
Oh.
She'll come back. Don't worry.
No worries. Okay. Namasarvebhyah, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Hello, dear Rasikas and viewers. My name is Sirisha, and a hearty welcome to the plava phAlguNa offering of rAma bhakti sAmrAjyam. It feels like a season finale with every month's offering of this year plava to Sri Rama. We are live now on YouTube. Let us invoke the divine blessings with Veda Ashirvachanam by our dear Sishla brothers, Sri Sishla Ramesh Garu and Sri Sishla Sai Jagdish Garu from Bangalore.
Namo Namaha. Today we will be rendering some verses from the Taittiriya Aranyakam. This piece is also called Chaturhotra Chayanam and also called Chittipannam. So we will be picking up a few verses from the beginning of this particular Aranyakam, and we will be chanting them today. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Chittisruka Chittamajyam Vagvedihi Adhitam Barihi Keto Agnihi Vigyatam Agnihi Vagpatirhota Mana Upavakta Prano Havihi Samadharyuhu Vachaspate Vidhenaman Vidhemate Nama Vidhestumasmakan Nama Vachaspati Somam Pibatu Asmasurum Namdhat Swaha Prithvi Hota Dyauradharyuhu Rudro Agnit Brihaspati Rupa Bhakta Vachaspate Vacho Viryena Sambratatamena Yakshase Yajamana Yavaryam Vaskarasmai Vachaspati Somam Pibati Jajanadindiyaya Swaha Agnirhota Ashvinadvaryo Tvashtagnit Mitra Upavakta Somasya Purogaha Shukra Shukrasya Purogaha Shratasta Indra Somaha Vata Perhavana Swaha Suryante Chakshuhu Vatam Pranaha Dyam Prishtham Antarikshamatma Angaye Yakyam Prithivigam Shariraihi Vachaspate Chitraya Vacha Achitraya Juhva Divideva Otra Merayasvaswaha Mahahavirhota Satyahaviradharyuhu Achyutapaja Agnit Achyutamana Upavakta Drishyascha Pratidrishyascha Yajnasya Vigaro Ayasya Udgata Vachaspate Hridvidhenaman Vidhemate Nama Vidhestamasmakan Nama Vachaspati Somamapat
मा देव्यस्तन्तुश्चेदि मा मनुष्यः नमो दिवे नमः पृथिव्यै स्वाहा वाग्भोता दीक्षापत्नी वातोद्धर्युः आपोऽभिकरः मनो हविः तपसि जुहोमि भूर्भुवः स्वः ब्रह्म स्वयं स्वयंभू ब्रह्मणे स्वयंभुवे स्वाहा ब्राह्मण एकहोता स यज्ञः समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः यज्ञश्च मे भूयात् अग्निर्द्विहोता स भर्ता समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः भर्ता च मे भूयात् पृथिवी त्रिहोता स प्रतिष्ठा समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः प्रतिष्ठा च मे भूयात् अन्तरिक्षं चतुर्होता स विष्ठाः समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः विष्ठाश्च मे भूयात् वायुः पञ्चहोता स प्राणः समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः प्राणश्च मे भूयात् चन्द्रमा षड्होता स ऋतून् कल्पयाति समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः ऋतवश्च मे कल्पन्ताम् अन्नगं सप्तहोता स प्राणस्य प्राणः समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः प्राणस्य च मे प्राणो भूयात् यौरष्टहोता सोनाधृष्यः समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः अनाधृष्यश्च भूयासम् आदित्यो नवहोता स तेजस्वी समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः तेजस्वी च भूयासम् प्रजापतिर्दशहोता स इदगं सर्वम् समे ददातु प्रजां पशून् पुष्टिं यशः सर्वं च मे भूयात् अग्निर्यजुर्भिः सविता स्तोमैः इन्द्र उक्ता मदैः मित्रा वरुणा वाशिषा अंगिरसोऽधिष्णियैरग्निभिः मरुतः सदो हविर्धानाभ्याम् आपः प्रोक्षणीभिः ओषधयो वर्षा अदितिर्वेद्या सोमो दीक्षया त्वष्टेद्मेन विष्णुर्यज्ञेन वसवाज्येन आदित्या दक्षिणाभिः विश्वे देवा ऊर्जा ऊषा स्वगाकारेण बृहस्पतिः पुरोधया प्रजापतिरुद्गीथेन अन्तरिक्षं पवित्रेण वायुः पात्रैः अहद्गः श्रद्धया सेनेन्द्रस्य धेना बृहस्पतेः पथ्या उष्णः वाग्वायोः दीक्षा सोमस्य पृथिव्यग्नेः वसूनां गायत्री रुद्राणां त्रिष्टुक आदित्यानां जगति विष्णोरनुष्टुक वरुणस्य विराट् यज्ञस्य पङ्क्तिः प्रजापतेरनुमतिः मित्रस्य श्रद्धा सवितुः प्रसूतिः सूर्यस्य मरीचिः चन्द्रमसो रोहिणी ऋषीणामरुन्धति पर्जन्यस्य विद्युत् चतस्रो दिशः चतस्रो वान्तरदिशाः अहश्च रात्रिश्च कृषिश्च वृष्टिश्च ज्योतिषिश्चापचितिश्च आपश्चौषधयश्च ऊर्च सूनृता च देवानां पत्नयः देवस्य त्वा सवितुः प्रसवे अश्विनोर्बाहुभ्याम् उष्णो हस्ताभ्यां प्रतिगृह्णामि राजा त्वा वरुणो नयतु देवि दक्षिणेऽग्नये हिरण्यम् तेनामृतत्वमस्याम् वयोदात्रे मयो मह्यमस्तु प्रतिग्रहीत्रे इदं कस्मादात् कामः कामाय कामो दाता कामः प्रतिग्रहीता कामगं समुद्रमाविश कामेन त्वा प्रतिगृह्णामि कामैतत्ते एषा ते कामदक्षिणा उत्तानस्त्वाङ्गीरसः प्रतिगृह्णातु सोमाय वासः रुद्राय गाम् वरुणायाश्वं प्रजापतये पुरुषं मनवे तल्पं त्वष्ट्रेजाम् ऊष्णेविं निरृत्या अश्वतरगर्दभौ हिमवतो हस्तिनम् गन्धर्वाप्सराभ्यः स्रगलङ्करणे विश्वेभ्यो देवेभ्यो धान्यम् वाचेन्नम् ब्रह्मणोदनम् समुद्रायापः उत्तायाङ्गीरसायानः वैश्वानराय रथम् वैश्वानरः प्रत्नथानाकमारुहत दिवः पृष्ठम् बन्धमानः सुमन्मभिः सपूर्वमज्जनयज्जन्तवेधनम् समानमज्मा पर्याति चाकृभिः राजा त्वा वरुणो नयतु देवि दक्षिणे वैश्वानराय रथम् तेनामृतत्वमस्याम् वयोदात्रे मयो मह्यमस्तु प्रतिग्रहीत्रे इदम् कस्मादात् कामः कामाय कामो दाता कामः प्रतिग्रहीता कामगुम् समुद्रमाविशा कामेन त्वा प्रतिगृह्णामि कामैतत्ते एषा ते कामदक्षिणा उत्तानाङ्गीरसः प्रतिगृह्णातु तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजम् शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शञ्चतुष्पदे ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम.
Thank you so much. Thanks for invoking the divine blessings with the wonderful chanting. With this, I welcome all of you again for the plava phAlguNa offering of Rama Bhakti sAmrAjyam to Rama through Sadguru Tyagaraja. So we have profound young talent performing for us. Singing for us is Srividya Vadlamani, accompanied by Shivani Vishnu Botla on violin. You can unmute so that you'll be in the frame. Can you please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Suresh garu,
Yes.
Vidwan Chitraveena Ravikiran is also online. So we can do just a brief introduction.
Yes, that's what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
So we have Srividya Vadlamani performing on vocals and accompanied by Shivani for today. And a brief introduction about the artists. Vidushi Kumari Srividya Vadlamani is an adept vocal as well as veena artist. She had her initial training in vocal music from her mother, Srimati Sujana Garu. She is an A-grade artist, veena artist by herself. And she then had advanced training from renowned teacher and performer, Kalaimamani Shri Naivaliyar Santana Gopalan Garu for over 6 years. Currently, she is under the tutelage of Vidushi Sriranjani Santana Gopalan Garu. Srividya has performed in both vocal and veena in many sabhas like Madhura Dhwani RK Convention Center, Sri Padhasarathy Swami Sabha during the Yuva Sangeet Utsav, Neyveli Sishyakulam, Mudra Vinotsav, Sharvani Sangeeta Sabhas Chennai, Sangeeta Sanmandali Vijayawada, and various other sabhas as well. She has won numerous prizes and been a winner and runner-up in many competitions since 2015. She won first prize in All India Radio competition in 2019 and was awarded B grade. Srividya shall be accompanied on violin, as I mentioned, by another prodigy, Kumari Shri Purna Gayatri Shivani Vishnu Bhotla. So Shivani, she started her tutelage on violin at Sangeetacharya Sri Ganduri Srinivasa Murthy Garu, and she later continued to train under the great violinist Kalaimamani Srimati Narmada Gopalakrishnan Garu. She is currently learning under the guidance of Sri Ganduri Srinivasa Murthy Garu and Sangeeta Kalanidhi Dr. M. Chandrasekharan Garu from Chennai. Shivani has accompanied many acclaimed top-grade artists like Hyderabad sisters, Sri Modumudi Sudhakar Garu, Sri Malladi Suribab Garu, Dr. D.V. Mohan Krishna Garu, Sriman T.K.V. Ramanujacharya Garu, to name a few. And many such stalwarts as well. She was presented with 2 violins owing to her exceptional performance during a perform called Laya Vinyasam by Vidwan Peravali Jayabhaskar Garu. So Shivani has been performing in numerous prestigious sabhas as well and has won many prizes, awards, medals, and accolades. So hearty welcome to the exceptional young talent to our rAma sAmrAjyam plava phAlguNa offering of Sadguru Tyagaraja to Sri Rama. And a special mention I would like to have is of chief guest of today. Guess who the chief guest is? It's our Sangeeta Samrat Vidwan Shri Chitraveena Ravikiran garu. Hearty welcome to you, sir, from our rAma sAmrAjyam. Everybody? Yeah. To brief about Sri Chitraveena Ravikiran garu, he stunned the world as a 2-year-old prodigy and presented vocal concerts from age of 5 and has enthralled listeners, including heads of nations and prime movers in society across the globe in major international festivals and other venues on Chitraveena from the age of 12 itself. Inventor of the concept of male harmony, Sri Ravikiran garu has composed for and collaborated with leading artists and orchestras of major genres in the world music, including BBC Philharmonic and Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra, Taj Mahal, and Glenvelleys, to name a few. He has composed over 925 traditional Indian music dance pieces in 5 different languages, including the operatic creations like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Lakshmi Prabhavam, Savitri, Almighty Trinity, and Vinayaka Vaibhavam. Sri Ravikiran garu has also set music for the entire 1330 Tirukkural verses of Tiruvalluvar and authored books like Appreciating Carnatic Music and Perfecting Carnatic Music, besides numerous articles. Initiator of the tele-teaching program in Indian music, Sri Ravikiran garu has mentored scores of popular performers and educators. Youngest to win the President of India's Sangeeta Natak Academy Award, Sri Ravikiran garu has been decorated with numerous honors from premier organizations in several countries. So we are fortunate to have your presence for the season finale, Sri Ravikiran garu. A hearty welcome to you.
Thank you all very much, and I wish all the very best for both our performers today.
Thank you so much, sir. Means a lot. Means a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the blessings. I hope it's definitely a good start. So Srividya, to open the concert with Karuna Judavaya Mayaya Kavati Rangaya. It's composed in Saranga Ragam and is set to Aditalam. Over to you, ladies.
We both will present a Virittam in the beginning, composed by Sri Vallajapet Venkatamana Bhagavatar on Tyagaraja Swami. We'll just start with it. Mrudugira Valmika Janma Munihi Vairagye Shukaye Vacha Bhakti Vishaye Prasadaye Vasvayam Narada Pratimayo Sangeeta Sahityayo Yo Ramamritapana Nirchita Shivastam Yo Ramamritapana Nirchita Shivastam Rajam bhaje Karuna Judavaya Mayaya கருண ஜூடவைய மாயையா 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 காவேரிரங்கையா கருண ஜூடவைய மாயையா காவேரிரங்கையா கருண ஜூடவைய மாயையா காவேரிரங்கையா கருண ஜூடவைய மாயையா காவேரிரங்கையா கருண பரம புருஷ பாலிப்பேனு தனமா பரம புருஷ பாலிப்பேனு தனமா பரம புருஷ பாலிப்பேனு தனமா பரம புருஷ பாலிப்பேனு தனமா பரம புருஷ
Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you. It is so enjoyable for us to see you enjoy while singing as well. It's beautifully accompanied on violin by Shivani. Thank you. I think with so many variations in the styles as well, the violin strings, it's beautiful. Okay. Ravikiran garu, I think he has a problem connecting to audio. Shri Ramesh garu.
No, I think, sorry.
Yeah.
The weather here is slightly bad and the Wi-Fi is not good. I'm in a hotel.
Yeah.
So I just had to log in from my cell phone now.
Okay.
So in case I get thrown off again, I'll try to log in from the laptop. But please don't interrupt the concert. Please continue. Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Sir, please pitch in whenever you feel like contemplating on anything or sharing a word or two. Please do feel free.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. I thought only at the end of the concert I was supposed to speak.
Yeah, that is anyway there. But if you feel like sharing something after the Kriti or something, please feel free.
Yeah, this is a beautiful composition. One of the Sriranga Pancharatnams, obviously. There is one more version to the song, but this is a different version. I know a different version, but this is very nice too. So compliment both the artists and look forward to hearing more.
Thank you, sir. So I request Sri Ramesh garu to contemplate a little about this Kriti. Ramesh garu, can you please unmute yourself?
This opportunity. Also want to. So when I think about it, compared to other Vagayakaras, and particularly Shri Dikshitar comes to mind when you talk about widely toured Vagayakaras, because he has gone to almost every temple and composed kritis there. But compared to them, Tyagaraja Swami actually seems like a more reluctant traveler actually. However, even among that, what we find is that he has particularly, taken a liking for Sri Ranganatha Swami of Srirangam, and that is actually, it is both interesting and curious. And one of the things which I think is Sri Ranganatha Swami is the Kuladaivam of Ikshvakus. Okay. Actually, the legend is that Ramachandra Swami, during his coronation, as a return gift, he gave an idol of Sri Ranganatha to Vibhishana, because it was their Kuladhanam, Kuladaivam. So Vibhishana actually came, and that is the Murti that is installed in the Sri Rangam, is the legend actually. So therefore, I feel that given, and of course, that is Swami who talks about that in different ways, about how Sri Ranganath Swami is actually adored by Rama himself. Okay, so therefore, here also I find it very interesting that Swami Garu is referring to Ranganath Swami as Miko. Okay, yeah. Ma Ayya Paveti Rangayya. Okay, and then he has no doubt is actually the Paramapurusha, the supreme Brahman. And incidentally, he is telling that you please acclaim me in the public. Okay, it is not enough that you actually do it in private, that you actually bless me. So you also acclaim me in the public. So that's what the Nalugurilo na cheyi karamidi. Okay, that's what actually he seems to imply there. And particularly, he has also found a time, because at home also it is common experience for all of us. We generally put forth our requests when our parents are actually having food, because that is when people are supposed to be in a good mood. So in a lighter vein, I also think that Tyagaraja Swami is actually telling him, he is pleading that there are two ways. One is that when he acclaims Tyagaraja Swami in the presence of others, that's a public acclamation. And the second thing is that he also hopes to find the God in a good mood during that. So this is actually in a lighter vein. Overall, very, very nice Kriti and very nice presentation, Srividya. I don't want to hold the floor. Please continue.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramesh Garu, for your contemplations. Even I felt the same. Probably Lord Rama himself is in very good mood with all Sadbhaktas and all who are surrounded around him. So he's already in good mood, and especially they're having food. So chances that Lord will definitely appeal, like here, Lord Sadguru's appeals that please hold my hand and lead my life through. And
Just one
also,
second, Lord.
yes, sir.
Yeah. I just wanted to add something, but after you finish.
No, sir, please go ahead. I can always continue.
No, they just only one thing. Tyagaraja Swami has traveled a lot and composed a lot of Kshetra Kritis. In fact, he has composed Kovur Pancharatnam, Tiruvattur Pancharatnams, and also compositions in Tirupati, Kanchipuram, so many other places. So Tyagaraja has traveled, but not as much as Dikshitar. And this is one of the 5 songs in Srirangam that he composed. So the other is Vorangashayi, Raju Vedara Juta Murare, and then Chuta Murare in Arabi, Vinarada Namanavi in Devagandhari. So he has composed a lot. And so you are very right that he is asking for approbations in public also. And later on, he probably composed Dasharathi Nirunamu Tirva, because there he actually says, Asitira Dura Desamuluku Prakashimpajayasina Rasika Shiromani. So probably he composed after the Lord fulfilled all these wishes, probably. So it's a very interesting composition. Yeah.
In fact, if I may add, Ravikiran ji, yeah, that is our, you can see on the flyer, Dasarathi Nirunamu is one of our,
Exactly. So if you look at
captions.
chronologically, maybe he composed this before that.
Correct. Okay. Thank you for your compliment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And also, like always, so creative that Sadhguru is. This Kriti on Lord Ranganatha, the chosen raga is also Saranga, double ranga. So never misses a chance. Definitely, that is Sadhguru. So coming up next is E Ramani Nammitino. It's composed in Vakulabharanam, set to Tripura Talam. Over to you. Thank you, Srividya and Shivani. It's so beautiful. It appears so meditative, and it sounded much more meditative in your voice. It's beautiful. To contemplate about this Kriti, right? Um, it's like sometimes, despite knowing a person so clearly, we discover certain aspects of the same person. Often wonder who you are. Do we really know you? That kind of feeling it gives. So Sadhguru's approach in general is so scientific, right? So Lord repeatedly showers his grace on his bhaktas. That was the hypothesis. So Sadhguru deduces how Lord graces his bhaktas based on the stories heard or epics read or based on some past experiences. So why not me? So Sadhguru further exemplifies in all the three charanams. The charanam that Srividya sang, it tells when Sita Devi, Mother Sita, tells the story of that Kakasura to Hanuman in Sundarakanda, how just a blade of a grass, when turned into a sharp arrow, to cut through Jayanta, the crow. So spiritually relating, it indicates that inertness of Sita Devi, that's indicating a uh, tamasic nature of that bhakti. And the other two charanams indicates the rajasic and sattvic bhaktis, describing the stories about Sugriva and the Vibhishana, how Sugriva chose Rama to Sugriva basically acted to choose Hanuman to be his minister and befriended Rama basically. So that indicates the Rajogunam of Sugriva. And in the third charanam, when Vibhishana goes to Rama for Sharanagati, it indicates the Sattvika Bhakti. So basically, broadly categorized, one's bhaktas bhakti, basically that bhakti should be falling in one of these categories. So whether it is tamasic or rajasic or sattvic, Lord has grace. That was the examples we have already, Sadhguru has already exemplified in these charanams. So definitely I have to fall in one of these. So please do shower your grace on this bhakta, is the outpouring of Sadhguru. So beautiful. Sorry, it's so beautiful. Thanks, Srividya, for choosing this one. It's really beautiful. Up next is Everikai Avataramethitivo. It's composed in Devamanohari Ragam.
Yavado
Beautiful. Thank you. Sir, Ravikiran Garu, would you like to share a few words about this?
Oh, yeah, definitely. First of all, both of you have worked hard to bring out different perspectives of Dev Manohari. So, compliments to both of you. A couple of things. This is a challenging composition that Tyagaraja has said even melodically, because with Nidanisa as the opening in Deva Manohari, it is not easy to find good spots for landing on the Kalpanaswarams. The Aroganam is not Dani. In Deva Manohari, is only there actually in Aroganam. Usually the Avarohanam is only Sanidanipa. So that Nidani comes only in the Avarohanam, but Tyagaraja has set it in such a way, and most of the times we are challenged to put the swarams correctly in this place, because whatever you do, generally it's not going to be appropriate. Maybe better landing option. Is better than many times, but it is still a very teasing composition by Tyagaraja Swami in this, as far as the raga is concerned. And also in Deva Manohari, of course, I'm sure you are all learning from fantastic gurus, so I don't have to teach you anything musically, but instead of re dari, re niri is a good option. The re da is not that, it's a bit shakier in this raga than re ni. So that said, both of you came up with beautiful Kalpana Swarams for both Avarikai and Avatara. See, this is one of the compositions where Tyagaraja, it is one of his interrogative compositions. It's like, Yavarichira, Yetavana Nirchitivo, Yetavanara, all this kind of interrogative compositions Tyagaraja has composed, wondering about what the purpose of Rama's avatara was, or where he learnt his weaponry from, where he learnt his other skills from, and who is he trying to please. All these kind of things Tyagaraja has generally contemplated about. So he's not only introspective but also interrogative. So his interrogation leads us to introspection. So that is a kind of impressive outpouring of expressive devotion of a great composer like Tyagaraja. So this is a beautiful choice. Of course, the previous one, Vakula Bharanam, also another beautiful composition, which both of you rendered very well. Again, there, even though it's sounding interrogative, it's more an introspective kind of feel. The very raga he has brought out with a lot of sublime feel to that Vakula Bharanam, where most composers rarely compose in Vakula Bharanam, they choose more Vasanta Bhairavi. But Tyagaraja Swami has chosen the Sampurna Mela here for this composition. So that's a beautiful masterpiece again. So please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the wonderful contemplations. Definitely, I think it'll be useful for all the viewers as well on the Deva Manohari note. And also, just to add a couple of points to what you have already contemplated, Sadhguru expresses such a joy that Rama has taken this avatar in this human form. Historically, other Dashavataras, if we take, each avatara of Lord Vishnu has a very specific purpose. But this Rama avatara is essentially an avatar to show how to live like a human being. So hashtag being human probably. So even in Valmiki Ramayana, when Valmiki specifically quotes all the 21 qualities that can be possessed by a human being, Rama took up this avataram to exemplify all those qualities and lead us all by example. So Sadhguru is full of gratitude for all the possible reasons, whatever caused for Rama to take this avatar and walk on the same earth as we are doing now. So it's not only just to get rid of Ravana, it's not only for Dushta Samhara that he had to take this avatar, but also to bring glory to the numerous sages and munis, enhancing the Brahma Jnana. So that is the Rama that he took this avatar to. So So it's expressing that elation that Rama has taken this avatar. So and also I think this is the right. The raga is also bringing out that elation bhavam, and really beautifully presented, both of you. Thank you so much. Up. Yes, sir.
What you said, the Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara are different only because of Rama's whole message is do as I do, whereas Krishna's message is don't do as I do, but do as I say. So so that is a whole distinctiveness. That is why Tyagaraja chose Rama as his thing. But another great composer, Hoothukadu Venkatakavi, he has composed the entire Ramayana as an opera. Not many people know about this, but he also composed a Sankshepa Ramayana where he actually says, Sri Rama Jayame Jayame. It is in Tamil, but I'll translate it. He says, Selvathile Mudalagiya Vedam, Saivadile Talayagiya Bodham, Uivadile Mudalagiya Nadam, Ulagathile Mudalagiya Geetam. He says. So he says that Rama Avatara is the first Veda. Saivadile, in terms of exemplifying, that is the primary Veda, is what Venkatakavi is saying in that composition. So he equates it to not only equates it, but he puts it above the other Vedas, Chatur Vedas, and said this is the first Veda as far as exemplifying human life is concerned. So it's a very profound, powerful set of words that Venkatakavi uses in that Sankshepa Ramayana of his. So, though it is conventionally understood as Tyagaraja was the Rama Bhakta and Venkatakavi was a Krishna Bhakta, but both of them are composed on the other deities also equally with the same kind of fervent devotion. So, great minds think alike. So, please. Another thing in that Anupallavi, when you are singing, beautiful perspectives you were able to bring, right? So, Maharaja Bedo, you did as this thing.
Yeah.
So you can do every avartanam you can do in that. Pilachina Maharaja Bedo,
Yes.
Ramani Pilachina Maharaja Bedo, Avanikira Ramani Pila. So every line you can add to that one. So like you can have like a cascading effect of that lyrical bhava.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
More like
thoughts. Yeah.
More like the Gopucha type.
Srota Vaheti, where you add an expanding set of patterns. But because the every avartanam of that line has that completeness, it's a beautiful way. When you get into the Sangeeta Bhava and the Sahitya Bhava, these are like almost organic thoughts, organic developments.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It's thanks for the really beautiful insight. I think Srividya and maybe other musicians can definitely try this out next time. And coming to this bhava aspect that we are talking, the next kriti that we are going to present is Vararaga Layagnilu, composed in Chenju Kamboji, set to Deshaditalam. Thank you, Srividya. So beautiful. Thanks for choosing this one. Hard-hitting Sadhguru, probably about his contemporaries, about the approach of other musicians towards music, probably is discussed in this kriti. I think the Pallavi itself is like a litmus test when sung by some musicians to break Vara Ragalaya and Tamanuche for the sake of tempo or whatever. That itself is like breaking the very bhava of that kriti itself. So it doesn't make sense, and it's a serious disrespect to the bhavam brought out by the composer. So I think Sadhguru says that a song or a composition is not just a mere collection of some notes and tempo and other technicalities, but Sadhguru describes the Nadapasana again in the Charanam. So how the Pranavanadam emanating from the Muladhara Chakra in the form of para until it reaches the Vaikhari form. So unless one realizes the purpose of Nadam or Nadopasana, which is to pave a path to connect with the Supreme Being through Nada. So what's the point of being so-called musicians? So often Sadhguru wonders in many a kriti like this, and it's really beautifully presented, Srividya. Thank you so much. So Ravikiran Garu, would you like to talk about this too?
Well, I think you have covered a lot of beautiful aspects anyway. The only thing is, as you said, hard-hitting Sadhgurus. I think Sadhgurus are generally hard-hitting in many eras. So the point is that, see, Tyagaraja Swami was not one of those who worried about, being politically correct or defensive and all these things. He was fearless. That's an aspect that we need to draw from him. The same thing for him, the inspiration for this was Purandaradasa. Purandaradasa was equally fearless. He was absolutely critical about, music or society or anything. I think a lot of Tyagaraja's reflections are based on the original thoughts of Purandaradasa. In many songs, you can find similarities. Scholars have actually spoken elaborately about this. Many things about bhakti or about all these things. Several great composers have had that fearless quality. That's a great quality to have. But that's also because Tyagaraja had no agendas other than just, pure truth life, that where, he lived at his terms. And he was able to, so the mindset of the composer is something that we all need to draw from. And as you say, he says, he does not simply gossip and say that, all these people don't know anything. He actually expounds on what is lacking. This is not just, one of those propaganda kind of songs where you just keep talking about the problem in the name of dissent without ever coming up with any single valid solution. So Tyagaraja actually is one of those people who really followed up whatever he had. He had a problem, he had a solution for that. And here he offers how the actual mindset of a good artist should be. And what are the aspects of grammar? Swarajati Murchana Bhedamul. We need to know all this, is what he's saying. So the fact is that without saying so, he's saying these are the qualities that are expected. And if you go back a little more in timeline, the author of Sangeeta Ratna wrote 500 years before Tyagaraja, he set such high standards of what a Uttama Vagyekara is like. So if you go by Sarangadeva's qualifications for a Uttama Vagyekara, you will see how high the standards of music were and what kind of expectations were there. A lot of us think that music was so.
Sir, can you please rephrase the last sentence? I think you chopped off a bit because of the internet, probably.
Yeah. Sarangadeva, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear now. Yeah.
So Sarangadeva actually set almost 30-35 qualities for it. So the standards of music were very, very, very high all the time. And what is needed from a musician, what is needed from a composer, the Sahitya Jnanam, Sangeeta Jnanam, the awareness of the context of the music, the awareness of the characters you are talking about. So many aspects they bring up, apart from bhakti, bhava, and buddhi, all these things. So a lot of us think that music was somewhere, in the evolving stages before the Trinity came or something. Actually not. The music has always been high, and the Trinity maintained that standards and expressed that standards in their own ways. So brilliant composition, fearless, as Shirisha Gaur also said.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the contemplations, and thanks again, Srividya, for the beautiful selection of kritis. And coming up next, Ne Pagada Kunte. In Varali Ragam, it is set to Jampitalam. love you singing Varali, Srividya. It's one of the heart-touching ragas for me, at least. Such a clear diction you have, and so beautiful sentiments brought out by Sadhguru as well. Pointing out that it doesn't make any difference whether one person sings the Lord's praises or not. It's like water, a drop of water added to ocean. Doesn't make any difference. So Sadhguru often aspires to be the bhaktas, such kind of bhakta of the Lord, like the famous bhaktas like Shuka, Saunaka, Prahlada, Narada. Sadhguru has taken these bhaktas' names in many kritis, those who worship Rama. So especially when comparing oneself with such stalwarts of bhaktas, one might downgrade a little bit of their own level of bhakti. So Sadhguru as such is not criticizing in this kriti that Rama is not praising Sadhguru, but rather totally submits himself for the helplessness to reach up to that elite bhakta circle to have better access to Rama. So even in the Charanam also, Sadhguru visualizes how the whole parivar of Rama, while he's having lunch, his hands are busy blessing bhaktas, and his wife, Mother Sita, is feeding him food. He's surrounded by ministers, wise people, brothers, Hanuman, Brahma, Indra, and other devatas, etc. They are around him because they are able to sing his praises. So Sadhguru is pouring out why I'm not in your inner circle. Although I'm such a small being in front of the other bhaktas, it's around Rama. So beautifully presented. I think this kind of bhavam can come out of raga like Varali only. And you have really presented it so beautifully. Thank you, Srividya. And coming up next is Nannu Vidachi. It's one of my favorite kritis. Thanks actually for choosing this one. It's composed in Riti Gaula Ragam and it is set to Mr. Shaputalam. Wow. Thank you. So beautiful. If somebody like Sadhguru is singing like this, Vadalakura, Kadalarukura, definitely I'm sure rAma is not going to leave or move. And Shivani so beautifully played on violin. It's really beautiful. Sir, would you like to share a few words about this?
Well, it's a very, very poignant composition, of course, as we all heard. I've heard several stalwarts sing this beautifully from my childhood, and both of you did a lot of justice to the emotive, sentimental beauty of this. Keep it going.
Thanks for the blessings, sir. So, a short contemplation about this kriti as well. As we know, this kriti is composed as a part of Prahlada Bhakta Vijayam. The Bhakta Prahlada was attempted to get rid of at least in 18 different ways, and every time there was a disaster, Lord Hari saved his Bhakta Prahlada. So, with constant contemplation of the Lord makes one feel that we cannot live without thinking about our God. We cannot live without thinking about the Lord. We cannot live. Basically, that's what I think Sadhguru is bringing out that. And throughout these 5 charanams, right, the 5 elements, fire, water, earth, air, and space, respectively, are discussed. Also, as a human being or whatever, like we also cannot live without these 5 elements. Although we cannot live without these 5 elements, anything happening to these elements in extremities will be disastrous again. So how Prahlada, despite getting thrown off a cliff or getting drowned into the ocean, still makes his way only through his Harinama Smarana. Same way Sadhguru also totally submits himself with all mind and body, heart and soul, praying for Lord Rama's grace and asking him never ever to leave him even for a jiffy. And this Riti Gavla, it's so scintillating and captivating, and it sounded much more mesmerizing when both of you together in such a sync when it got played. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
One thing that since you mentioned Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam,
yes, sir. Just
wanted to add here that a lot of us, when we look at the compositions of Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam, and we try to see how the story is being told in that, we may not find the entire continuity in that. Only when you actually look at all the padyas and gadyas in between that, which will not be published in the compositions book most of the times, only then we'll start getting a bigger picture of how Tyagaraja Swami visualized the Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam as an operatic presentation. So these compositions, that is the reason why many of Tyagaraja's Prahlada Bhakti Vijayam compositions can still be rendered off as one-off songs in concerts. They are very appropriate for concert because they don't specifically only bring out the character of Prahlada in the compositions. Even some song like, Vinata Sutere, even that kind of composition on Garuda and all that, it can still be rendered as generic compositions. And Nanu Vidichi, Eti Janmamitiho, all these compositions, you will find the same quality. But when you see all the padyas and gadyas in that, then you will start seeing, this part of that opera kind of thing. You will get the story feel more then.
Yes, it appears so generic, yet we can be able to relate to that particular opera as well. Correct.
Exactly. So you will never know whether it's Prahlada's words or Tyagaraja Swami's words.
Exactly.
So if you don't know the context, it can very well pass off for, in other words, Tyagaraja is speaking through Prahlada's mouth, basically.
Exactly.
It is really Tyagaraja's thoughts, but they will so beautifully blend with Prahlada's or any other great bhakta's thoughts, so that it's very seamless.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the beautiful contemplation, sir. Finale of the evening, it's Kula Dalanayana in Natakuranji Ragam. It is set to Aditalam. Thank you, Srividya, and thank you, Shivani. So beautiful. That that sounded so soothing, so pleasant, Natakuranji. Sir, before I go ahead, would you like to share a few words about this?
No, you finish it, then I'll
Sure. So I was going to say that it is such a bright and scintillating Kriti with a poetic comparison, right? The beautiful, unadulterated, lotus-petaled eyes and teeth like jasmine buds and all. So it starts with that appreciating the physical beauty, and throughout the 8 charanams, it transcends to appreciating the physical form of physical beauty of Rama to playfully doubt the capabilities of being able to grace his bhaktas. Like, would you be able to do such kind of playfully doubts that Tyagaraja brings in one of the charanams, and eventually pleading and beseeching to accept Sadguru's prayers. So you brought out so beautifully. I just wanted to add this much about this Kriti. Sir.
No, I think you are very, very correct. As far as this song is concerned, it's even though it may appear like a small composition, it is pretty beautiful, lilting in its visualization of Rama and the meanings. So, overall, I think the entire concert highlights the very purpose of your series, Rama Bhakti sAmrAjyam, so beautifully as Tyagaraja visualized it. So, you have chosen excellent songs. Each one of them is a gem in itself. Needless to say, when great composers compose, every word, every syllable is as important as every note and every unit of tala. So, that is why they were such complete Vagekaras. So with other composers, at least, when you are looking at some of the composers, some of them were better in music, some of them were better in lyrics. But the Uttama Vagyekaras of our music, whether it is Tyagaraja, Dikshita, Shyama Shastri, Utikad Venkatakavi, and all these people, they were like complete. And it's not just merely their expression, but their thought. So, I always talk about a CID formula, the content, intent, delivery, in which any human being of any walk of life can be measured using this formula. So, these three criteria, if you look at the content of Tyagaraja or Dikshita or Shyama Shastri or Venkatakavi, Annamaya, Purandaradasa, so many others I would mention, except that we don't have their original tunes with us. So we don't know what their visualization of the music was, unfortunately. And it is our loss. So we have to look at their music by inference, by how they talk about music or what kind of things that they spoke about. Whereas in these cases where the original tunes are available for these Vagyekaras and also many of the other brilliant contributors. So if you look at this level of composers, that amalgamation of the dhatu and the matu and their entire thought process, the way they approach music, their attitude towards music, their attitude towards society or towards God or towards other great people, all these things are the takeaways for all of us. And that is what makes Carnatic music one of the greatest in the world, because this system, I collaborate with a lot of artists, right from pop to classical, Western, and Hindustani, so many other systems. But what makes Carnatic music so distinctive, in my opinion, even intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, philosophically, musically, rhythmically, lyrically, in terms of its variety, it's like a consummate system in the world, which really is a character building system. It demands a lot from us, and it strengthens us. It steadies us, strengthens us, stabilizes us, gives us equanimity, gives us a lot of balance, a lot of strength of character, and all those things because of the kind of content we are exposed to. When you even hear these songs, generally we will not be able to help ourselves but to look at the meaning also many times. Because a great composer like Tyagaraja, I was very fortunate to be trained by my guru in such a way that I had learned almost like 400. The beauty of Tyagaraja's thing was, can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Briefly, we lost you, but you may want to
my internet
re-summarize.
connection is it's a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
But the beauty of Tyagaraja's composition, if you look at a great composers like Tyagaraja or even Purandaradasa and all this, you just don't need to look at the entire Sahityam at all. If you simply open their book of index, just look at the song names, the kind of openings you see would be so strikingly different. You will rarely see the creative part of that composer, the intellectual part of Tyagaraja. If you simply see their index, you will see what a kind of a brilliant visualization he had. It's like chess openings. You'll see so many different types of openings. So it's not like a stereotypical composer, Vinayakam bhajamyaham, Ganesham bhajamyaham, Ganapatim bhajamyaham. It's not like that stereotypical kind of openings you'll see in that. So, and that conversational style of his approach, which is so personalized. So we are able to relate to it so easily. So when Tyagaraja says, it's almost like speaking to us. Is literally these great composers are able to communicate with us even after 200, 300, 500 years after they've died. And that's the beauty of powerful art, that their ability to be able to communicate to us in a way that we can still relate to. And the same goes for Valmiki. When he composed Ramayana and other things, the way he created that, or Vyasa's Mahabharata and all that, today we are able to sit and discuss and debate about whether the Vibhishana was right or Kumbhakarna was right or XYZ was wrong, whether Rama himself was wrong in killing Wali from behind a tree and all this. So we are able to create, there is so much of talk about that work even today. So that's what is a powerful creation is. And Tyagaraja, of course, such a powerful personality, full of conviction. And I think that is what is a defining quality that we find in great people, the conviction that they have. There's no point of living life without any kind of conviction and being always like a Humpty Dumpty, ambivalent about every view and just trying to be only saying the right things, right? So that is where Tyagaraja stands out as a composer. If he had anything about Teliyaleru Rama Bhakti Margamulu, he had absolutely no problem about stating it. And so also about himself, many of his autobiographical compositions, he is very honest about his own, shortcomings, also equally with that kind of a candor. So it's all in all a great initiative, this Rama Bhakti sAmrAjyam, and I compliment all of you for doing this as the think tank behind this organization. I compliment each one of you, and I thank you for inviting me to spend some time in this beautiful atmosphere. And to cap off what I said about the CID formula, Tyagaraja's content and delivery are both stunningly brilliant, but more than all that, his intent, his honesty of intent, and the kind of absolutely powerful thought processes where his only aim was to worship music and worship Rama through music, and also get everybody into this process. So that is the Unchavritis kind of things that he was doing. So many Utsava Sampradaya Kritis, Bhajana Sampradaya Kritis, Divyanama Sankirtanams, all this he has done is to take music to everybody. The accessibility. Now, for example, Kuvale Dalanayana is one such composition. It's as good for individual rendition as for a group rendition by a bunch of people who may not be so deeply initiated into the Lakshana aspect of music. So that is why Tyagaraja is probably the most influential composer in Carnatic music. And it's wonderful to have these sessions. And I wish the organization all the very best. Both of you performed very well. You have a great future ahead of you. And I would like you to, I understand that you're also academically pursuing your studies and everything, which you should do, of course. But definitely spend as much time on music as possible. I have been saying this from my teens, that music by itself is one of the most, not just viable professions, but actually a very lucrative profession if you are at the top. Okay, top musicians I have seen from every generation, they have lived in perfect comfort. They have lived as comfortably as any other top professional in their fields, provided they get to the top first, of course. And both of you are capable of doing that. You should get to the top and stay there for a long, long time. And however well you do in life, and however all these successes, all these things, Facebook likes, YouTube views, all these things are coming up, and all these things, that's all just one small part of music. The real music is what you yourself find as beauty and passionately, what you pursue with passion for the sake of beauty alone. That is what is the actual takeaway that you're going to have. And that is what you're going to be sharing with others. And that's a huge empowerment that you all have. You'll be able to make a difference to so many people's lives positively. And so pursue this beautifully in the correct manner. You are trained by great gurus. All of them I know personally, many of who have blessed me from my childhood. So stay true to the field, stay true to the values of whatever this great system is teaching us, and all the very best to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. Just few words before I just wanted to thank Rama Bhakti sAmrAjyam again for giving us this opportunity to sing in front of Ravikiran sir, who we always from our childhood, sir, we have admired and listened to your music and continue to listen to your music, sir. Truly, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Srividya. Thanks, Ravikiran Garu, for all the beautiful words and blessings for Rama Bhakti Samrajyam, as well to the young ladies Srividya and Shivani. They have, as you said, they have done a splendid. So I would request Ramesh Garu, our CEO of Rama Bhakti Samrajyam, as Kota sir would call, to share a few words.
Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskarbhyah. Bhaye Namaha. So it has been a great evening. I don't want to add more to it, and I want to keep that lingering taste in my mouth. But before that, I just want to express immense gratitude to Sangeeta Samrat Chitraveena Ravikiran Garu for gracing this evening in India, and it is morning for him. So actually, when Tyagaraja Swami sings Asha Tira Dura Deshana in Rasarathi Tirunamu, it is literally true for us today that you have taken Rama Bhakti to the Western Hemisphere of the world.
No, since you mentioned that, I should also say the same Tyagaraja also says in another composition in Todi, Nidura Nirakarinchi, Niduga Tambura Petti.
Yes.
So I'm very happy to sacrifice my sleep and come here early in the morning and listen to all this.
Very nice. Very nice. So just about the intensity of and the gravity of this evening's occasion, gravity I'm using in a very positive connotation here, is that there are very few people in any profession who are actually synonymous to what they pursue. And here we are actually extremely lucky that Sri Ravikiran Garu is known as Chitraveena Ravikiran Garu. So he is actually synonymous with what he is practicing. Okay? It is not true. It cannot be said said about a lot of people who, I mean, 99.999% of people who actually practice something. So that actually, like Veena Chitti Babu we say, like Mandolin Srinivas we say, similarly. So I cannot really, I probably not have the repertoire of words to express how grateful we are. And the other thing is that how continuously you have engaged with the artists and all of our viewers. So that is actually, there are a lot of takeaways for us today. And as you have probably already seen, our motto is actually to rAma, through Tyagaraja. So of course, there are many things to pursue in in any field. In Carnatic music, of course, there are so many Vagayakaras, but we keep the Rama Bhakti as the bedrock of our pursuit, and then we have chosen Tyagaraja as the vehicle to actually get there. So in that respect, I would actually request you to please do come back and grace us again with your immense repertoire of knowledge and do margadarshan for us, okay? Because that's absolutely important. And I'll be, I'm so happy our young Turks, both Srividya and Shivani, they just lived up the entire evening for us with beautiful selections of kritis, which are a mix of both popular and rare, and so very well rendered. And in between, so beautifully actually, both Sirisha and Ravikiran Garu have added their thoughts and enriched the rendering immensely. I want to thank both the artists and for the backroom boys. Giri, very busy in his profession, in his at his office, but still taking time to coordinate with a lot of people, and that's actually I wholeheartedly acknowledge that. Vadlamani Rao Garu, for he's always there for us. So it's such a great strength for Rama Bhakti Samrajyam. So we actually are growing on the pillars of such committed people. Okay. And I want to thank all the viewers and Rasikas who have been there this evening. Okay, and of course we are creating this content, and it's out there in the YouTube, very easy to access for everyone. I'm sure it will be very useful content for future generations to come. What we do. Okay, so this is actually, with these words, I actually want to thank rAma himself for having given us this opportunity and brought us together like that. So thank you very much.
Thank you
We'll go
very
off.
much.
Thank you. Also, just to add to your word of thanks, I profusely thank Kota Shivakumar Garu as well, because he so sincerely and diligently records all his contemplations about this kritis, and it's so extemporaneous sometimes. You just give a kriti and he can go on about it, and there is a lot of learning, lot of insights that we get when we listen to Kota Shivakumar Garu's contemplations as well. So they are
Yes,
there in
Sirisha.
the rAma Bhakti sAmrAjyam database as well. Yeah.
Sirisha, actually, I think I am taking both you and Shivakumar Garu for granted in this. I'm sorry about
Yeah. No, because you mentioned my name, I had to mention Kota Shivakumar
Right.
Garu's name. No, jokes apart, but I really wanted to thank him too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to
Yes, sir. Yes.
personally thank Chitraveena Ravikiran Garu, because he not only a pursuer of music, but he teaches several students across different time zones. And even though he mentioned about that Todi Kriti of Tyagaraja, but when he gets up, he would be normally probably teaching somebody at this time. But his valuable time that he spent with us and making us enrich his knowledge. So I think Sisla Ramesh Garu already kind of indirectly getting commitment from Ravikiran Garu for a future lecture demonstration at this time. But we certainly do not want to put you in a spot, sir. But whenever it is convenient for you, we would like to hear more of a topic that you would choose. We will leave it to you. And we really want to continue this conversation and hear from you more. And I know for sure, I lived in Chennai for about 10 years before moving to USA. I've been a great follower of your music, not only the instrument, but also the legdems, because some of them are so, I could understand a little bit from the conversations that you bring up. That means a layman like me is able to understand, means, you go to that level of explaining that, and you are very, very knowledgeable in those areas. And, we would like to hear more of that. So taking that for granted, hopefully we'll find you some other time to join back again. That is one thing. And also, as Ramesh Garu said, your name is synonymous. So people generally say, he brought light to the something, but you brought Ravi Kiranalu for, Chitraveena, so to say. So it's a great, I'm still pinching my, skin, like, is this reality that we have Chitraveena Ravikiran Garu here? I'm still not able to digest that fact, to be honest. So
if you see, that is the real Ravi. If you see Chitraveena, it is. So the Ravi is already there. I'm only the small Kiranas of it, nothing more.
Nice.
No, sir. Your humbleness is really rich. That is the thing that we have to take away. The people who are learning and pursuing music, that kind of humbleness and humility is what, it's really great to have you, sir. And if we have done any mistakes on our side, our sincere apologies, but we will definitely correct ourselves. Please do let us know in case.
Not. On the contrary, I really enjoyed this. And you were mentioning about my students. Many of the students, I recommended them to learn from today's live YouTube thing only. So I shared this link with them. So they're all having their class only there today, right now.
Yeah. And for me, I've never, I've seen you in, personally in Cleveland mostly, but I've never had the chance to speak to you. But, this is a great opportunity personally for me, and it's a honor to have you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
And for those who are do not know, he has produced several musicians who are top ranking and performing, and those are the things that he has contributed to music also, and he continues to do so. So it's great to have you, sir.
More than anything, I truly believe that I am the student here, and this is the quality that I have observed from all the great artists, even when in their 80s, 90s, whether it was Sammangudi sir or an Edunuri sir, or many of, I can give a lot of names, MS Subbulakshmi ji, or all of them, they all had the student's hat on all the time in their lives. And that's one of the reasons that they all were able to feel young also, even when they were in their 80s and 90s. So I also see people in their teens who feel so cynical about life that they may already be like 85 years in their mental age, but the great people, they had that sense of wonder. They had the sense of awe about beauty and about music and about the great composers and about their gurus. So these are the right mindsets for a good musician to have. And this is what is reflected by Tyagaraja Swami when he says, Endaro Mahanubhavulu. Whether I know them or not, I salute them. Right? And for that is an attitude that all great people have had. Bhajanamrita Paramananda Bhagavata Santa Charana Renu Nirantaram Vahamyakam Hari Nija Bhajanamrita is the same sentiment expressed in Sanskrit by Uthakani Venkatagavi.
Oh, yeah.
Salutations
Absolutely.
to all the great Bhagavatas. So this is something, this is an exciting journey, as some great musician in the West also said. Music is enough for a lifetime, but a lifetime is not enough for music.
Yes.
Right? So, like that. So we are all in this journey together, whether it is Srividya, Shivani, all of you who are facilitating this to happen. So all this, we are all in the same team where the music is concerned, and we are all saluting and sharing the glory of Tyagaraja Swami and his rAma bhakti and his approach to life. So thank you all very much again. I will take
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for
And
your
may
very
God
valuable
bless.
time. Really appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I just wanted to add that when you said Chitraveena, Ravi is already in, that Ravi is enhanced by the chit of yours, sir, definitely.
Okay, your victory is mine. So I'm so happy that thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste,
Thank you.
sir.